1995, the corpse of a 39-year-old drifter was found in a boxcar in Oregon, and 2 days later, another dead body turned up 60 miles away, also in a boxcar. Their names were William Pettit and Michael Kleitz. Detective Michael Quakenbush of Salem, Oregon, was called in to investigate.
This individual, it was determined, died from blunt trauma to the head. You can see here, these are shots of Mr. Pettit as he was found by the railroad employees.
Glaring similarities in the two killings led Quakenbush to the conclusion that they were the work of the same killer.
Both were missing their footwear. Both were laid out prone in the boxcar. Both were covered over with coats. A number of similarities like this indicated initially that the same suspect or suspects were involved in both of these homicides.
The name that surfaced as the most likely suspect, Sidetrack.
I had some information that an individual by the name of Sidetrack had been with the victim Michael Kleitz in Eugene, Oregon.
While Detective Quakenbush hunted for Sidetrack, several hundred miles away in the train yards of Roseville, California, an FTRA member named Robert Silveria was arrested for trespassing. A police search of Silveria turned up an unexpected surprise: the Social Security card of William Pettit, one of the victims in Quakenbush's case. The detective was called down to Auburn, California, where Silveria was in custody.
When I sat down with him after I advised him of his rights, the very first question I asked him out of my mouth was, "What name do you go by when you ride the trains?" And he said, "Sidetrack." And as soon as he said that, it's just like in the little cartoon, you know, the light bulb over your head. I knew he was going to be the suspect in these homicides.
After hours of interrogation, Silveria came clean.
I said, "You're not getting out of this boxcar."
You told him that?
And he said it loudly. He goes, "What?" I said, "You're not getting out of this boxcar." And I just walked over and kicked him in the face.
What did you mean by you're not getting out of this boxcar?
I was going to go over there and kill him.
You knew in your mind then you were going to kill him? The biggest hurdle was getting the first one out of the way, and from that point, like I say, he was very cooperative, and he told me about homicide after homicide.
So Robert Silveria had been identified as Sidetrack. Finally, nearly 2 years after Michael Garfinkel's body was found on the tracks in Emeryville, California, his murderer had been apprehended. Wade Harper also went to interview Silveria.
I asked him what did he use to kill Michael with, and he told me he used an axe handle. He drew a picture of it, and of course the axe handles are oval shaped, and he said it was about 3 foot long, and he wrote 3 foot long, and he signed it and dated it.
Robert Silveria confessed to dozens of killings and is currently serving 4 consecutive life sentences in Oregon State Penitentiary. Although he was finally brought to justice, Silveria proved how easy it is to exist as a murderer on the rails. For years, he had not only eluded police with his fake IDs and dozens of aliases, he had even fooled his fellow riders.
What a wonderful guy. That was the crux of the whole thing, was how could this guy who you'd like to take home and have him live with you.